everybody. Whoa, that is really bright. I'm going to try and stand over here and hopefully you can still see me. So I want to give this a bit of a practice. So if you look at your schedules, stage 2, and stage 3, you'll see that every Monday we're going to do something that's called a katya. And that means I'm going to give you a piece of paper. So if you're at home online, you will get a piece of paper with a paragraph that has a number of mistakes in it. If you're here in class, that piece of paper will be sitting on your desk when you get here in the morning, and you can just start working on it right away as people come in. It's something to warm up your brain, okay? So I realize for those of you, for everybody watching it, because this is a practice video, that you probably can't see the words on this page that are projected here. But what will happen is you will all be looking at your paper. Well, if you're in class, it'll be easy, you'll be able to see it. But if you're at home, you'll be looking at the paper that's in your package. Now, for those of you who came to meet me and already have a package, this paper is not in your package right now. I'm just doing this as a practice video to see how long it's going to take to post, to see if you're able to get the link on WhatsApp. So don't worry, as we go through this, you won't be able to see this paper. Nobody will be able to see this paper. It's just a practice to show you how a katya works. And then maybe afterwards what I'll do is I'll zoom in on this, and then you can see where the mistakes are in this piece of writing. Okay, it's called My First Day in Adult Education by Dan Danforth. So it starts like this. When I walked into the classroom, I could smell the chalk that always seemed to trigger moments of fear. Now, if you were here, or if you had this paper in front of you, you would notice there's a number of spelling mistakes. So what we're trying to do with this katya, and the reason we call it a katya, is because when someone makes a mistake or does something bad, we catch them, and then we say, katya. So we're trying to catch all the mistakes here. Okay, so our first mistake, what I would usually do, if everyone is in the room, I would say, who can tell me what the first mistake is? And if we look over here, we can see it's this. It says cold, but we want it to say could. How do we spell could? Well, there's some letters that are missing. Could is C-O-U-L-D, which doesn't make any sense. The L doesn't make any sound. But that is the word could, C-O-U-L-D. We don't want cold, we want could. He could smell the chalk. Now chalk is another spelling mistake here. It looks correct, chalk, but it's not spelled correctly. So chalk is C-H-A-L-K. Again, we have a silent L in that word. And if we look here, the word chalk is spelled incorrectly again. We'll just change that. That always seem to trigger moments of fear. So fear is spelled F-E-E-R here, and it sounds like fear, but that is not how we spell the word fear. Fear, can anybody tell me how to spell the word fear? Yes, I can, Jamie. It's F-E-A-R. Wonderful, that's what we want. Okay, he can trigger moments of fear. Okay. I could feel the words of teachers from my past pummeling me, so coming down on me, with their anger and expressing disappointment in my performance. So maybe some of you can relate to that feeling, being told you're not good enough when you're doing your schoolwork. So there's a few red lines here. Again, I know you probably can't see it on this video, but if you had the paper in front of you, hopefully you'd be able to pick up these spelling mistakes. And when you're here in class, those of you who are coming, you'll be able to see this. Okay, so expressing, there's a problem with expressing. Expressing needs 2 S's on the end. And normally in class, I would get somebody to tell me that. Expressing, and then what's wrong with disappointment. If we look at the A and the P area here, we know that disappointment has 2 P's in it. So disappointment. And we'll talk a lot in this class about prefixes and suffixes. Those are the things that we add to the beginning and the end of words to change their meaning, but we won't talk about that just yet. Okay, expressing disappointment in my performance. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with performance? We see a red line there. Yes, it's supposed to be an A and not an E. Yes, you're right. So this is an A, performance. I'm not going to write out the whole thing because I'm eager to get this video done so I can post it so I can see if this actually works. Okay. I knew that feeling. In school, the teachers would look at me and then look at the ceiling as if there were some magic inscription or piece of writing written there that explained my total lack of involvement in this class. Okay, so we notice here there's a blue line. A blue line, when we're working on our computers, tells us it's not necessarily a spelling mistake, but there's a grammar mistake there. And the mistake here is that this is a word, than is a word, but we want the word then. What do we do to make then? That's right, we change this A to an E, and then. So the difference between these two, and then I would get somebody out there to tell me the difference between the two. So somebody out there, can you tell me? Yes, this one is related to time. This happened, then that happened. This one we usually use when we're comparing two things. So for example, that light is brighter than the light in the other room, the light that's shining in my face right now. So we're comparing two things. Okay, so but here we're talking about time. And then look at the ceiling. As if there was some magic inscription. Well, this is kind of a tough one. You're not going to be able to get all the spelling mistakes. So I can assure you of that. I myself don't pride myself in being the best speller. That's where a computer comes in handy, because if you had this on your computer, you could just right click on it and it would give you the correct spelling. But I believe we want an I here instead of an E. So some of us have trouble with I and E because of our first language. Because in German, this is an E, and that's not an E. Or in Spanish, this is an E, and that's an A. But in English, this is an I. So I always picture this as a little person. There's the body and there's the head, so I. And this is the E. And, I don't know, think eat. I don't know if that helps. I used to have a little thing, I can't remember now, because I'm nervous in front of this camera. Okay, inscription written. Can somebody tell me what's wrong with written? Yes, it's missing a T. Okay, let's put that extra T in there. Written there. Now again, we have, and this is called a homophone. It's a word that, homophones are words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently and they have different meanings. And there is one of the most confusing ones. So we have there, and there. And sometimes we know exactly which is the right one. I know which is the right one. Sometimes when I'm thinking really quickly and I'm writing or even typing, the wrong one pops in. It's called a typo. Your brain isn't quite going as fast, or your fingers aren't going as fast as your brain, or vice versa. Anyways, it's a very common mistake, both when people don't know, but also just a mistake that kind of just comes out there. All right, so this there, can somebody tell me what that means? Yes, it means it belongs to a group of people. Right, so it is their car. It is their house. And again, we have a little person in there, so it shows belonging to somebody. When we talk about this there, we're talking about location. Where is it? It's over there. And if you look, this can really help you because it has the word here in it. Yeah, which is place as well. Where? There. Here. Okay? And there, this is what we call a contraction. When we take one base word and then it has another word that we kind of chop up and contract together. Okay? So here, this there stands for they are. So if we take away that A, put an apostrophe there, we have there. Uh-oh. Little glitch. It's good to know. Hope it comes back. There we go. Yeah, so for example, they're coming to class today, meaning they are coming to class today. So, which one do we want in this spot? Can anybody tell me? Yes, we want the one that's the place. That's right. Written there. Where? There. That explained my total lack of involvement. What's missing from involvement? The E. So our root word there is involve. And we put the ment on the end. Involvement in the class. The school bells still ring through my head. This is a homonym as well. This is through. He threw the ball. And we want through, like when it goes through your head. So that one looks like this. T-H-R-O-U-G-H, through my head. And send a tingle. This is a common mistake as well. When we get that O at the end in English, it's often L-E, not E-L. Tingle. Through, and here we have our through, that's the right one. My whole being. I am forever locked in a world where education equals pain. And here we have a homophone again. This is not the pain like pain in my heart or pain in my head. This pain, can anybody tell me? Yes, you're right over there in the back. This is like a window pane, like a piece of glass. The pain you want is P-A, with an A-I. And then what you would do if you were in class or at home is you would rewrite the paragraph now with the correct spelling. What we're doing is we're practicing something called editing. When you go through your work and you find the mistakes, I would like you to try doing this with your work always before you send it to me. And there's our first video. I really hope this works. If it felt fast, please let me know. If you couldn't hear me, please let me know. If it felt difficult for you, don't worry about that. It's the first video. We're going to adjust as I get to know who you are as students and what the best fit is for you. I will adjust your work accordingly. No worries. I will adjust your work. I will make your work fit you. Okay? Anyways, I hope you're all having a great day. I hope you're excited for Monday. I know I sure am. Have a great weekend.